I am the Free Guy, and welcome back to reacting to Mr. Nightmare Part 2. We are going to finish up Volume 7 in this video, so let's go ahead and get started.
Still in the house, because
Alright.
Stevie and I both heard cracks in the ceiling above us, as if someone was coming downstairs.
Okay, yeah, this was just the ending of the last story. Okay, so story 6.
Last year, a guy came to my house's door around 9 p.m. He knocked on the door, so I got my mom, and she went out to see who it was. By the way, we live in a rural area, so visits that late are extremely uncommon and strange.
Figured so.
The guy talked to my mom about how he was opening a business, asked whether she liked American-made products, then handed her a Clorox container as a sample. He went back to his minivan and opened it to get a quote-unquote vacuum cleaner when my mom saw 5 other men sitting inside. She told me to run and get my phone since we don't have a landline. I couldn't find it, so I got my knife and stood around the corner. She threw the container outside and told them to get the hell off her property, as well as that she was calling the cops. They peeled out of the driveway, and we never saw the car again.
That is actually terrifying. Because you don't know what could have happened if she didn't see those men. Like, I'm not even joking. You don't know what could have happened if she didn't see those men. There are a lot of things that could have happened. I'm not going to say it because of YouTube restrictions, so.
I've always been an extreme sports person ever since I was little. Mountain climbing, parasailing, scuba diving, though I've always been an avid skier. I go upstate skiing at least 10 times a season, sometimes with friends, sometimes alone. My friend, who I'll call Q, agreed to come upstate and go camping with me so we could do some backcountry skiing, which is basically skiing in the backcountry on marks or
Hey, skiing is actually
areas
pretty
outside
fun.
the ski resort's boundaries. It was a 3-hour drive, then a decent amount of off-roading to get to where the hills were. I parked my truck at the bottom of a decent-looking area full of hills. But I also stopped there because I couldn't really drive out much further given that there were too many trees. Hugh and I then proceeded to unload the back of my truck of all our stuff, including ski gear and camping equipment. Then we hiked about a quarter mile, which was an incredible amount of work with all the stuff we were carrying.
Yeah, I bet.
We found a perfect place to set up camp, right near the bottom of an uphill, and in a bit of a clearing between the trees. Setting up the tent and unloading our sleeping bags and equipment and such was first priority. When all of that was done, we started our hike up the hill to scout the area. We did a decent amount of hiking, but we also got a lot of skiing in. At one point, Q and I lost each other while skiing down a bigger hill. I assumed I'd
sucks.
meet him at the bottom, or just find him eventually. I checked the walkie-talkie just to see if he'd answer, but he didn't, which meant he was probably still going downhill. At some point while I was walking with my skis at the bottom of the hill, I ran into someone, another skier. He sounded very friendly under a ski mask, asking me where the best hills are and if we were camping and such. He had his skis strapped to his orange backpack.
Ooh.
I pointed to the hill I just skied down and also pointed in the direction we set up camp. He said he and his wife were trying to find a good place to set up camp near other people and asked if I could lead him to my campsite. As much as I really didn't want to trek all the way back there, I felt I had to be a good Samaritan and help this man and his wife. I pulled out my walkie again and said into the speaker to Q that I was going back to the campsite for a bit. I started to leave the man who was behind me, when suddenly I started getting some static from another end on the walkie. It seemed someone, probably Q, was trying to talk to me, but the connection was shit. Nothing I could do about that except for come back to this hill afterwards. It took a decent amount of hiking and small talk with the man before we reached the campsite. I turned around to him and smiled under my ski mask, which I realized instantly was pointless. He sounded very thankful for he and his wife. And I finally asked him, "Where is your wife?" He didn't answer. He started to walk closer to me. At first
Run.
I thought nothing of it.
Or ski down
For
the
some
mountain
reason,
again.
Something about his skis and backpack just struck me. They belonged to Q. For a split second, I thought, is this Q? Is he pranking me? But it wasn't possible. The voice was too different from Q. The man was a few mere feet away from me at this point. He was picking up the pace to a more intimidating approach. I panicked and jumped into the tent to dig for my flare gun in my bag. The man grabbed my leg, which was sticking out from the tent, and then I felt a sharp, intense tingle in my leg, like a severe electric shock, followed by a burning heat feeling. I screamed in pain as I just managed to pull out the flare gun, push aside the door to the vent, and aim it at the man. He immediately backed up with his hands in the air, and that's when I noticed the knife dug deep into my leg. I ordered the man to tell me where my friend was. He answered quickly, saying near the bottom of the hill he found me at. I told the man to stand still while I called 911 to request an immediate rescue. But the man took off quite easily while I was on the phone.
Figures.
There wasn't much I could do with one single flare gun shot.
You should have shot it.
My bleeding leg forever, until finally the reassuring sound of a rescue helicopter swooped overhead, and I shot my flare gun. I cannot believe I was actually picked up by a helicopter, in which I helped locate my friend laying in the snow in the middle of the hill.
Should have shot him.
He was unconscious, and he had also been stabbed twice in the leg, then robbed. He tried talking to me through the walkie-talkie while he was losing consciousness, but the connection was bad. We both went to the hospital, but we're fine today.
That's good. That's real good. No, not this. No, not ads. I hate ads. I hate them so much. Be right back. Alright, we're back. Story 8.
I lived in a small college town. My apartment complex was walking distance from the bar/downtown area. One weekday night, I stepped out on our front porch to smoke a cigarette or two. I was up late studying.
Give me a minute. I'm going to change the lighting in here for a minute, so give me a second.
With me and laid down on the stairs.
I think that's better.
A girl who I had never met before, but who lived one apartment over on the ground floor, came home from downtown. She was by herself, and you could tell from her walk she had been drinking. She got in her apartment and barely got the door closed before some guy, who came out of nowhere, knocked on her door. She opened, and I noticed he introduced himself, which was weird because it was like 2:30 in the morning. Who comes to a random girl's apartment at that time?
Right?
So I decided to stay outside and pay attention. They ended up talking for over 10 minutes. She later acknowledged how weird the situation was, but did not know how to end the conversation. He would do the creepiest things, like he reached up and stroked her hair at least 3 times, and he would try to slowly inch his way closer to her in the door. I made a point of being loud.
Why? I know you just want to have sex, but why? You don't have to force yourself on someone. Whatever.
With my textbook so he would know I was there, and he disappeared as eerily as he came.
Good.
We called the cops, and days later they had the girl and I sit with a sketch artist. As soon as the sketch was made public, floods of calls came in. The guy turned out to be a serial rapist who followed lone girls home from bars and pretended to be a cab offering them a ride. This girl just got lucky because she lived so close to the bars, he didn't get a chance to pull the cab routine.
Ooh. That's actually kind of scary.
I've only used Craigslist once in my life, and the one time I used it, I got a very sour taste in my mouth. Here's why. The guy posted an ad for a ping pong table that I wanted to buy for my roommate and I. We set up a time for me to come pick it up that night. I had to remove the back seats from my truck so that I'd be able to fit the thing. I pulled up in front of the dude's house and texted him saying I'm here. I saw the door open, so I got out from my truck and did a quick speed walk to his front door to greet him. I went for the handshake, but I don't think he saw my arm, so after a few awkward seconds, I put my hand back down. He said in his deep smoker's voice to follow him to the basement. The whole house had a certain distinct smell to it. Not exactly a bad or concerning smell, just a cottony, smoky kind of smell.
Oh. I was like, is it like a putrid blood smell? Then I'd get the hell out.
Suddenly, he said, "Oh shoot, I gotta find the paddles." So he ran back up the stairs and told me to wait right there. I waited for a
That's when you
while down there,
go
assuming
up
he
the
misplaced
stairs
the
and
paddles and was
out.
having a hard
Bye
time finding
bye.
them. I started to snoop around his basement a little bit, looking at his pictures and such. It was weird. He had framed pictures sitting on furniture,
Idiot.
but they were all pictures of just him, no family members.
Oh my god.
There was one where he was at least with a dog, but that was pretty much it. I'd say 10 minutes went by, and I was still stuck waiting down there, so I started to get even more snoopy.
That's
There
what
was a
I'd
back
do.
laundry/storage room in his basement that I started to observe for some reason. There was a drawer to his utility desk that was hanging half open. I pulled it fully open, and it revealed old Polaroid pictures. But these pictures were horrific and disturbing. They were all pictures taken of some girl who was tied to a chair and her mouth covered with tape. There were also yellow folders stacked in a row next to the photos. They were labeled A to Z. I didn't have it in me to open the folders and see what were inside. I took out my phone to take pictures of the contents of the drawer and planned to send it to my friends immediately, but I didn't have any service down there. It was definitely time to go.
Right?
I ran back to the door at the top of the stairs, but my nightmare only became worse finding out the door was locked. As soon as I tried the doorknob, though, I heard the deep, raspy voice of the man on the other side of the door. He was apologizing, saying the door was accidentally locked and he would go look for the key real quick. I didn't say a word in response. I examined the keyhole closely, ran back down the stairs to the man's utility desk, grabbed 3 screwdrivers of varying sizes, and tried each one in the keyhole for the door. The smallest screwdriver managed to fit in the rectangular-shaped keyhole, allowing me to turn it just enough to unlock and open the door. I didn't stop and look around. I simply ran out the door into my car.
Good.
I didn't look back at the house. I simply drove to the nearest police station, showed them the pictures, gave them the address, told them where to find the photos, and that was enough for them to start their investigation. A few days later, I got all the information. The man was part of a child pornography trade on the deep web, which was how he made his living, apparently. Why he decided to lock me in his basement, that's beyond me. I have not the slightest idea of what he intended on doing with me, but obviously it was not anything good.
Dang.
I used to babysit in my
Wow.
teenage years.
Wow. Dang. Jesus.
When I was 14, I babysat for a 6-year-old boy named Cody once. His parents left me with few instructions other than to order a pizza for dinner and not let him go in their room. They also left me with an interesting comment, that Cody tends to act different than other kids and that he'll talk to himself or his imaginary friend, especially when he played with his toys. So, it was midday, pouring outside. I was watching some old Wipeout show that used to be on TV in the early 2000s. Cody was on the floor playing with his toys that were scattered across the living room. Cody kept using the name Agnes. He would act like he was playing with another kid who was sitting in front of him. One of his toys that were sitting across the room from him activated out of nowhere. I only found it weird because the toy was one of those little cube-like things with the crank where you pull it down and some simulated moving racing background came up on the screen. It was the kind of toy that would take effort to activate. And there it was, activated all by itself. I asked Cody how that was possible. He looked at me and said, "Agnes is playing with it." I have to admit, it was a little disturbing hearing him say that.
I
I
would
picked up
be
the toy and turned it off.
I would be totally losing my crap. I really would. I would be losing my crap. I would tell that kid, have fun. I'm gonna walk 3 million miles away. Bye bye. That's what I'd be doing. I would not be staying at the house. Continuing watching a kid talking to an imaginary friend. I don't think so. Let's continue. Oh, it didn't even.
That night, in the final hour waiting for his parents to come back, I was in the bathroom washing up when there was a knock at the door. "Cody?" I said. I opened the door. Cody wasn't there. I looked into the hallway for Cody. One of the doors at the end of the hall started to creak open slowly, like really slowly. I turned off the light to the bathroom and walked into the room, expecting to see Cody playing around, trying to scare me. Instead, Cody was sitting on the bed in the far corner of the room, looking at me. I asked him if we just pushed open the door. "Agnes," he said. Now truly freaked out, I went to pick Cody up off the bed and brought him to the living room, where I spent the rest of my shift until his parents came back. I didn't mention any of the weird things that happened, but when they reached out to me to watch Cody again a few weeks later, I never called them back.
I turned them down flat. Alright, so that's Mr. Nightmare Volume 7, 10 Scary True Scary Stories. I just reworded that wrong. But okay. So yeah. This has been quite a adventure through these kind of scary story type videos that I've been doing lately. From here until I get a PC or like get like any kind of gaming equipment, I think I'm going to be doing reaction videos like this. Like there are reasons why, and I'm not comfortable with the videos I made in the past. That's why I deleted a whole bunch of them. So, yeah. But for that last story there, I'm not even joking. I would turn that family down flat. I wouldn't care. I would be like, bye-bye, you can have your little child, demon child there. I'm not doing anything anymore. Nuh-uh. I'm not doing it again. No. Because that was some paranormal stuff. Well, if you guys like this video, just leave a like. That's all I ask. I don't even care if you guys subscribe. I just care for people to watch it. That's all I care about. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.